we came back to see George. And if you remember, he's the one that's got the 1,000-gallon reef tank in his living room. Well, he's got a second tank, and it's just as good as the first. This one's 300-gallon, stonies, mixed with anemones, beautiful fish, and he's done such a good job. His second tank is as good as his first. So surprisingly enough, I'd like to share that with you because the second tank is never that good. Let's go take a look. All right, so now I think you're crazy. You have two.
Two, I couldn't help myself. It's like the crazy cat lady, right? Like,
what was the idea behind having another one in your house?
So this is one of my old tanks. When I was moving from my previous house to this house, I thought I could set this one up. I could try to get all the livestock from where my previous house was, and when that tank, the big tank, was there. So I brought everything over here. I tried to save what I could. Some stuff made it, some stuff didn't, because it was kind of a jarring move.
Yeah.
As we were having to move between house to house. So that's why it's here. But then after that, what I used it for was, as I was stocking the big tank, this was my quarantine tank. So all new SPS or anything that I was buying was coming in here, going through all these dippings, and then would make it to the big tank. But then after that ended, I decided to keep it running, because what I did was every time I would get a frag, I would see if I can cut it in two. And one, after all those dippings, one would stay here and keep growing, and one would go there and grow. So what happened was, this serves as like a duplicate tank. So for example, if anything dies over there or dies over here, I can kind of replace it instead of having only one colony. And it's running in different water, has its own sump, and nothing is connected. So what happens is it kind of saves my ass when when I make a mistake or something happens or the inevitable crash happens, that I don't have to go and buy everything again. I've got it all right here. And so we do try to keep it at similar parameters. We're using kind of a different methodology. So on this one, we're doing dosing versus the other tank. We have calcium reactors. And we've got a lot of the corals that we have here. You'll find them in the big tank.
I have to give you props. Most of the time when there's a second tank, you can tell one of them takes the back seat.
Yeah.
This one looks good. It looks great.
Yeah. On certain times, I think this one is the better looking coral and livestock in here.
Interesting.
So yeah, they're both beautiful tanks, and I'm happy to have both of them. But it is hard work trying to take care of two big tanks. So this one is about a 200-gallon tank and a 100-gallon sump.
So it's 6 feet long?
So this tank is 62 inches long, so just over
Over
5.
5.
It's 24 inches high, and it's 30 inches front to back. So it's a really deep tank. So it's about 5 by 2 by 30.
Okay.
And what happens is I just get a lot more depth to work with. I've learned that that's what I like. I don't necessarily want to go taller. I love to go deeper. And
you can only reach so far before your shirt's off, right?
Yeah, and my arms can only get so long. So this is a good tank. I actually really like the mix of height and width on this one. So most of the time when I see 200-gallon tanks, they're a lot longer.
6 foot,
yeah. But it's got it in its depth. And so that helps. So all the rock work isn't placed up against the glass. There's about 6 to 8 inches behind the rock work where flow can go. It's like a tunnel of flow. The fish love doing laps around it. So, and it also now coral are starting to grow back there. Things fall back there. And now it's another place where coral just kind of inadvertently are starting to grow.
One of the first things that I noticed about this is you've got these shades on here. I'm assuming you hated the lights in your eyes because it doesn't have a canopy like the other one.
Yes, absolutely. So this is the open light. These are the XR30s, the Gen 4s. And man, the stand is about 36 inches. This is about 24, and the light is exactly where my eyes are.
Right in your eyes.
So I'm getting blasted with light. The living room looks blue, and my wife, is telling me that she hates looking in this direction because, she's shorter than I am, so she's really getting it in the eyes. So those help a lot.
And do you keep these really low like that for that reason also?
Yeah, so I might have lowered them an extra inch for you guys, but I only keep them about from the bottom of the shades, about 2 inches from I have a lid of glass here. So I do keep them pretty low, and I have them on these strings here where I can lift them and lower them real easy. So for the most of the time, I don't need to have them up. So they sit low like this. And the tank gets lots of par and lots of light. And because there's 6 lights on this tank, same idea, same philosophy, which is I wanted a blanket of light where if I wanted to grow SPS, anywhere, I could.
Which you can.
Which it is. And so we've got like this Jason Fox Flame growing here, just a couple inches off the bottom, and it's loving it there.
This Toraki or whatever it is here.
So yeah, so there's that, and I think that's a great thing to do. I would like to redo the rockwork here, have the rockwork be like only come up halfway, lower, so that the coral, because right now I have a lot of corals that are starting to grow up to the top there, and I would rather have them a little lower so I could see them a little more top down.
Understood. There's a couple of fish in here that really stand out to me too. First of all, that Sohal is probably the nicest that size I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's beautiful, and he's got a lot of personality.
Oh,
and
is that the kind way of saying it?
Yeah. so he's always chasing around fish just for the fun of chasing them around. He's chasing around fish that are not tangs just for the fun of chasing them around. It's crazy.
It's just who he is.
Yeah, and I was, we were in Egypt this past summer,
okay, and
I was snorkeling. That's exactly what I saw out on the reef. Sohal tangs bullying everyone.
Imagine that.
Yeah, not just tangs. They just love proclaiming their territory everywhere they go.
And then I saw this velvet wrasse. Very rarely do you see these doing really well in an aquarium.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is one of the first times I bought a velvet wrasse, and he's gorgeous. He almost is like a pet. When I put my hands in the tank, he comes and wants to rub up against my hands, maybe thinks I'm gonna feed him, but he's not scared of me at all and is almost like a little pet. He's got lots of, in a good way, personality.
Yeah, in a good way.
In a good way. And then I love these leopard wrasses, the blue star leopard wrasses. I just love the color combination on those. Those are just gorgeous.
As they change, they're really pretty too.
Yeah, definitely. I've got one more fish that's interesting, which is this, I think it's called a grayhead wrasse. It's kind of like a...
The Helicoris genus.
Is that what, the Helicoris genus. That's also a fish that's almost like a pet, meaning when I put my hands in the tank, he's also one of those guys that just isn't afraid of me at all.
Oh, for sure. I guarantee if you take this rock and you turn it over right now, he's going to eat every single pod off the bottom of it.
Exactly, out of the palm of my hand. Yep. But he's a great fish. He looks cool, has a cool pattern on him. Really beautiful fish. Those and the Richmond wrasses are really
the Richmonds are really nice. And then a male blue throat. That's a tiny male.
Yeah, that's a tiny male blue throat, and unfortunately, I had a female that I bought them together. The female didn't make it, but he's happy and he's doing well, and I don't see him bothering anything or anybody.
His color is beautiful.
Yeah, for his size too, he's only like 3.5 inches or so.
And I saw you have a yellow damsel here and over there. You like them, huh?
Yeah, I like them because they're friendly. I don't like the damsels that are territorial and and give you a hard time. So that was friendly. I have just one here. So I liked it so much that I found them and I bought 4 of them for the other tank. So they kind of school together. They're neat. They don't bother other fish. They don't bother me. So it was just kind of nice to have like a little school of damsels.
Yeah, they're cool looking. They've got that really big body shape to them too.
Yeah, they're really neat. I like them, and I like these little Talbot damsels as well. They're the same thing. They're just friendly and do well in the tank.
So the theme is the same. You've got redundancy here. You've got blanket lighting, high strength blanket lighting.
Yes.
You like your fish. You've got a good colorful assortment. And so do you do the water changes the same?
Yeah, so on the weeks that we're not water changing the big tank, we're changing water here.
Nice.
So but this one gets an even bigger water change because I have about 30 fish here, which is high compared to, I think it's about 250 to 300 gallons of total system volume. So what we do is we change about 100 gallons out of 300.
Wow.
So we're changing approximately 1/3, of the water every other week or every 3rd week. And I've got 2 skimmers here too, so it's chugging away. But I still think that seems to be a good recipe that keeps the coral happy and keeps the fish happy and keeps the water just immaculate.
And do you use like a nitrate benchmark as your guide to whether or not that's functional for you or not?
Yeah, so we have about, on the 2 tanks, roughly 5 to 10 nitrate. I've got about a little bit high on the phosphate, so 0.1 to 0.15
Okay.
On both tanks. Sometimes we go as high as 0.2. And so
Pretty steep.
it is a lot, but I haven't seen too much. I haven't seen the coral be upset. They seem to be just as happy. I wish it were a little less, but I don't want to drastically get there.
Well, that's the worst thing that you can do. I mean, if you kept a 0.2 all the time, it's probably not a bad thing because it's all the time. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So it was at 0.2 all the time about 6 months ago. And so we decided to go and get it lower. But instead of doing it by strong arming it with a lot of GFO or something that would shock the system, I learned actually from you guys and interviewing other people to take it slow and kind of like I wanted to coast down. So what we just did it through water changes.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to strip the water, it's just was doing it through water changes. And so eventually we got it down to 0.1 instead of 0.2, but it was over months that we did this. Instead of shocking the system, we just took it slow.
And do you utilize any kind of media that keeps it at 0.2 or 0.1? I'm sorry.
No, not much. So if we really feel like it's getting out of control, we will put a very sparse amount of GFO, but that's it. I mean, and we try not to. I don't want to overdo it, but yeah, once in a while we will put some GFO if we feel like it's not enough.
I love that you have damsels. I don't see enough of that. Everybody says, "Oh, they're so mean." Blah blah.
Well,
blah.
there's some that are mean and some that are friendly.
Yeah,
So, but in general, I think it's nice to have them. I feel like it fills out the tank more.
It does. I call them dither fish. They keep each other busy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So no, it's a good it's a good mix of fish in here. Like I was saying, I think we have something like 30 fish, and then you'll see things pop in and out of the rockwork because it's so heavy, the rockwork. So a lot of them just live in the rockwork, and then you'll see them come out and then go back into the rockwork. It's fun to kind of do that because I feel like they're more relaxed, having a place to live.
Do you have a preferred 2-part that you use on this?
So for the 2-part, I think we're using B-ionic.
Okay.
2-part. We've been using it for a while. It's been working out. So it's just like kind of like a 2-part of calcium and alkalinity. But now recently, because the coral growth is getting a little bit too intense in here, now we have kalkwasser. So I learned from watching what you guys do at your store. You just have these bins of kalkwasser water. And so we just go through that so fast.
Yeah.
And then we're just keeping an eye through hydros on the pH level, making sure it doesn't go too far. And we have also hydros just checking the alkalinity, making sure nothing is
So
too...
you're using as a primary, you're using kalkwasser because you're using that for your top-off solution, correct?
It is my top-off solution.
Okay.
It also helps with the pH, keeping it up.
So then your variable is your alkalinity on the doser.
Yes. So the alkalinity on doser might be the variable, but also I just wanted to know if something got out of hand, if something broke and it broke in some off position, I just need to have it shut down and tell me about it.
Sure.
Instantly.
I only say that because it gets confusing to a lot of people if you're using kalkwasser and another form of alkalinity delivery.
Yeah.
Which one do you try to control?
To play with.
Well, because kalkwasser is never going to get you all the way there, it makes
Yeah.
more sense to use that as your primary and your top off.
Yeah.
And then
So what I did
variable-
is I started off by using 2-part. I didn't even try kalkwasser in the beginning
Okay.
because I didn't need it. 2-part was enough to do what we needed. And then when I saw that the coral needed more juice than the 2-part was giving, and the pH wasn't getting high enough, so we had pH of like 7.9 at night, and the highest would be 8.1. And I thought, okay, it's not high enough and it's not consistent. So when we went with the dosing, the top off of the kalkwasser, it got us the rest of the way there. So I don't know if I would have done that from day one, but we did it just based on need. So when the need came in for it, then it made sense, and then it wasn't so confusing of what to do.
There's probably, what, 300 mils of alk solution going in here a day, right?
Oh, it's tons. It's drinking.
Yeah, it's quite a lot.
So it's evaporating fast, and it's getting replaced fast.
Yep.
But it seems to be loving it. The
Without
corals.
that kalkwasser, I think you'd be going through a whole lot more.
Yeah. The kalkwasser. It's funny that like old stuff. You know, I started the hobby 15 years ago. We were doing kalkwasser, and we were going back to kalkwasser.
Yeah. Well,
and
it's tried and true. It's never changed, and it's always the same product.
Yeah, and it just works so well. I love it. It's something that I feel like it adds enough alkalinity, calcium, adds to the pH, and just gets you over the hump. For us, whether it's calcium reactor or whether dosing method, I feel like, especially when you grow a lot of SPS, you get to this plateau, and that's where the kalkwasser helped us get past that plateau.
Is this worth looking at under here?
Yeah, so we've got, these are just dry drawers where I get to keep stuff here. There's a custom made stand that I made. And then down here, we've got a 100-gallon just old Sump from back in the day that I had.
Oh, perfect. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so
this is the kind of thing you would see around our shop.
Yeah, so I just keep reusing, right? Like nothing gets thrown away. It might get reused. So this is like a tank that I had from maybe 10 to 15 years ago. And in the first, that way, we've got a refugium with tons of chaetomorpha, live rock. There's a red light on there.
Yep.
And then it drains over to this middle section where I've got a reactor there, and then 2 protein skimmers here for redundancy, and because I think it helps with aeration. I feel like there's a lot of fish, similar to the Achilles, that love oxygenated water. This helps having a very oxygenated water. So then there's a baffle here, and then that's the return. Sure. Part of my equipment is in the pantry on the other side of this wall. Okay. I've stolen some of my wife's pantry. So
she hasn't asked for it back yet?
No, she's not getting it back. So what I have back there is that the tub of the kalkwasser water, and the like some of the hydros stuff is there to just stay out of the way and dry.
Yeah, keep it away from the moisture is better.
Exactly. Right? So it just seems to work well to have some stuff there, because I just didn't want to try to fit everything under this tank. It's just too much.
And so, like you said over there, you hate doing it from down below.
I know. So this, what the benefit of this is these drawers can come all the way out. So I have a good amount of space to work with.
Smart.
I don't like to work in tight spaces, but it's not so bad. So at least these can come fully out. And this stand is a little bit taller than a normal stand, so it gives us enough space to work on it.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the chance to show us.
I'm glad you came by. It was nice having you.
Yeah, this is really a great representation of having a second tank. Like I said, most of the time, the second tank doesn't look as good as the first, and kudos to you. I think you really nailed it. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you know when we're posting our videos. Leave a comment in the section below because we love your feedback, and we're going to see you next time.